want to pay a little tribute and salute all the men who died and fought for at Pearl Harbor, and all the men that went into the wars after that and fought, and some died, some came home, and I just wanted to salute them. I'm a veteran myself, so I can salute them, you know. My war is Vietnam, so all done with that, you know. Now I'm going to play another song for you, for all those veterans out there who's listening at the sound of my voice. So this is a song just for you. You know how I feel. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're back. We're back. That was the Warrior song for all the people that could hear it. I love that song. And that was from the movie Patton, so that was George C. Scott that was talking about Patton, and Patton actually said these things. Patton was a little bit of bizarre when it came to saying and doing things, you know. He would do things like crossing the Rhine River, stop and and go to the bathroom just to tease Rommel or something like that. He was just out of his mind. And I gotta say hello to Deacon. What up, Deacon? Hey, good. That's my son Deacon. I just wanted to give him a little shout out. You know, give him a little shout out there. I shout out everybody if I can. Yeah. Well, that was a little bit of tribute to the people from Pearl Harbor in the Second World War and all the veterans out there. I'm giving them a big hoo-ah. And hey, keep marching on there, brothers. Keep marching on. Now we're going to change pace a little bit, you know. We're going to change pace and we're going to talk, because a lot of people have asked me, what does it mean when I say have that fun? And I don't know if I have a song to tune up to get you in the mood for a little bit lower aggression. Gotta bring it down something. Unless you really want to go out there and take some guts and grease the wheels of your car, you know, we can do that too. We get to do a lot of things. I got a song for that one? For the next one?
We got Happy.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna throw in the song for to change the pace, because it's have that fun. What I'll be talking about in a minute. Cause I'm happy, cause I'm happy, because I'm happy, cause I'm too lazy to be anything else. Basically, that's what my life's all about. I'm too lazy to be anything else. But I like to say have that fun. This is what I use when I sign things, or I don't care if it's a legal document or whatever it is. I put have that fun at the end, because that's the way I feel. And people's been asking me, what does that mean, have that fun? You know, some people, how can you have fun? What is having fun, you know? But for me, when I say have that fun, this is something I'm thinking about that you receive from doing unrecognizable giving of yourself towards other people. That's what it's all about. You're bringing a moment of joy to someone else. That's all it is. Having that fun. You meet somebody, you know, you walk up to somebody and you say, get all nice and rigid and stuff. You extend your hand way out here like this, and you say, hi, how are you? Fine, how are you? Oh, have a good day. I mean, this is a conversation that goes on across the United States and other parts of the free world. In other countries, a lot of other countries, they don't do that. You walk up to somebody and you see somebody, hi, and usually you get a hug or something like that. It ain't that rigid handshake. And it's not, how are you? It's like, oh, I haven't seen you in a while, and oh, I saw you yesterday. They try to generate a conversation or a story, you know, and this makes people feel good to be recognized. So that's what have that fun kind of alludes to, just making people feel good, yeah. And you don't get any kind of reward from it. You don't get any status boost from it. You don't get anything from it. The only thing you receive from it is the inner joy, knowing within yourself, you know, oh, I saw so-and-so today, you know. Yeah, I haven't seen them in a long time. You're just reflecting on the conversation you had with the person, because they told you that what they were doing since you've seen them. They let you into part of their life, and you can't really get much more powerful than that. So that's kind of what I mean when I say have that fun. Like I say, have that fun has nothing to do with going out there and going to a barbecue and getting all drunk or something like that. Or anything like that. It has nothing to do with those very short little greetings that you have when you see people. Have that fun is about generating listening mostly too. Because you get to listen to somebody's life. You get to listen to somebody's story, and everybody has stories. And that's a challenge that I'm putting forth throughout this December to people to do during their Christmas holiday, when they're sitting down with their Christmas people after they had rummaged through all their presents and tore everything up. Get some stories from your loved ones or people that you meet when you greet them. Just start doing that. Just not just saying hello, how are you, or it's going to rain today, or the Red Sox got a new pitcher, or Tom Brady, he's always something to say. But just say, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. What have you been up to? And hear their story and actually listen to their story. Or how's, you might know that their kid just graduated from high school or is a senior or got a new job or something. So you want to get a story from people and you want to listen. And I'm guaranteeing you people that you'll be having that fun if you start to do this in your life. You'll be able to really touch somebody. You just know because you would have made that person feel special. And people, like I say, they love feeling special. So you might as well give it to them. Might as well give it to them because they love it so much. Just the fact of being a friend, and it builds trust. It builds all kinds of different kind of relationships like that. It's like the greatest networking words in the world are only three. Have that fun. Once you learn to understand the concept, at least my concept of it, because that's what I say. And then people. You really get to know people from that, and you really get to connect with people. So that's a little bit about what I mean by have that fun. And there's another part to have that fun too. I'm gonna go a little biblical on you now. We're getting in a little bit of spiritual, a little bit of the old Bible, because I really like the Bible anyway. So here's the question, and you can call in, except I didn't give you the number. Who had the greatest fun in the Bible? Right?
That number, by the way, if you'd like to call in, that number right now is 508-963-1150. Again, 508-963-1150.
Yeah. So anybody who want to call in the next 2 seconds to answer the question, who had the greatest fun in the Bible? Now everybody going to be saying, oh, Jesus had the greatest fun in the Bible. Maybe it was the apostles. Maybe somebody got a weird sense and they might say Pontius Pilate. I don't know. But those people, they had their own. I don't think Pontius Pilate was having a good day, But they had their own. But for me, and I like to lead my life by that example too. I think the person who had the greatest fun in the Bible was the Good Samaritan. And most people, if not everybody, knows the story of the Good Samaritan, but they don't know the depth of the story of the Good Samaritan. The basic story. This one guy, Hebrew guy, got beat up, robbed, stripped naked, laid in the ditch and everything by some highwaymen as he was going to one of the cities there in Israel. And these people came by, these Hebrew people, and they looked at this poor, beat up, bloodied, naked person laying in the ditch, and they crossed the street. They crossed the street like that. It's like, what's up with that? They didn't even do anything. They just crossed the street. And then here come a couple of priests come by and stuff, and they see the same man beat up, blood all over him, naked, and just laying in this dirty, all beat up. So what do? They stop and they give him a blessing. Give him a prayer. They pray for him and give him a blessing. You know, these are the Hebrew priests. I forget what they call them, Pharisees or something like that. The Pharisees that he did. And then here comes this Samaritan guy who come by. Now, what you got to really know why this is in some sense fun. Hebrews weren't allowed to talk to Samaritans. They looked at Samaritans like they were the lower class people on the planet. You know, they were next to animals as far as the Hebrews were concerned. They weren't supposed to communicate with them or do anything around them and everything. So here comes the Samaritan, and he see the guy in the ditch. The first thing, he go down there and, you all right? Going to help him out, wash him up, put his robe on him, take him to a place where he can start to heal from his wounds. Goes in his own pocket, pays for this here, tells the caretaker that, you know, I'll be back, you know, just take good care of this guy here, you know, he down and out on this stuff like that. And you know, the guy don't even recognize him. He don't know him. He's all beat up. He has no cognitive thoughts of what's going on. He's just all beat up. The Samaritan, he ain't looking for no thing. He goes about his business. And how much more fun is that? You know? That's fun. That's unrecognizable type of joy that he did for himself. He did something for that guy that everybody else who could have done something. I'm not saying that they should have is what I'm saying, but I'm not going to say that. But I'll say it anyway. They should have stopped and helped that boy. And then the guy who's been looked upon by those people in their ethnicity as being nothing, just stopped and took care of that guy right out of the kindness of his heart. Now that's a form of having that fun that's a whole bunch different. It's on a higher plane than what I was saying about having that fun. But can you think about how much fun it is just to do something for somebody who hates you? You know, and not even care. It's like, I don't care if you like me or not, but hey, I can give you a hand, so I'm going to give it to you. How much more fun is that? For that guy who got beat up, not only he get beat up, robbed, stripped naked and everything, but for the rest of his life, he either going to realize that he was helped by a person he's always thought that he hated. And that the Samaritan, he's going to go about his business anyway, and he's going to have a smile on his face because he did the right thing. And he helped out somebody that was in need, and that made no difference whether it was a Hebrew or a Samaritan. So that's another form of have that fun. And when I find that Samaritan, I'm going to give him a membership to ArchAngel. Return to Chivalry. So he don't have to worry about that either. So all you people out there, go ahead and have that fun any way you want to. And the challenge of just going in there and giving hugs and just getting stories from people. One day call in at 508-963-1150 and tell me the experiences that you have, or if it's really truly an experience that you want to share and stuff, I'll come out there and interview you and put you on right on the show to tell your experience, because those type of experiences are really powerful, and there's something that really makes a lot of people feel good. You'll touch a lot of people yourself just by doing that type of thing. Well, I'm gonna go a little bit now. I'm gonna talk about empathy. All right, we're gonna talk about empathy. So I'm gonna play another song for you,
Yes.
for empathy. All right, this is another song.
When I was a boy, just about the 8th grade, Mama used to say, don't stay out the lake with the bad boys. Always shoot the pool, Giuseppe, want to flunk at school. That's my mama. Not to make a mistake, all the thing I gotta do. I can't dig into no kicks, not to follow stupid rules. What to make a mistake, just to make a lousy buck. Not to feel like a fool, that's right. Mama used to tell me, oh, what's the matter with you? Hey, I don't know what it's like.
Hey,
What do you think is so sad? It's not so bad. It's a nice place.
Shut up in your face.
That's right. Make a call and think you do. Why you look so sad? It's not so bad. It's a nicer place.
shut up in your face.
What's the matter you?
Hey,
Gotta know what's bad.
hey,
What do you think you do? Why you looking so sad?
it's a not so bad. It's a nicer place. Shut up in your face. Yeah, I like that one there too. I like that. How you like that, folks? Deacon, shut up in your face. You get a lot of that, huh?
Truth, you mind if I do it once?
Go ahead.
Shut up in your face.
Yeah, that's a good one. You know? That's just fun. We're gonna talk about empathy now, right? And empathy is, I feel your pain. That was according to Bill Clinton. That's what he said. I feel your pain. Obama said the biggest defect that we have in our society and in the world right now is an empathy defect. And I agree with him like that. We definitely have a lack of empathy that's going on. So what is this empathy? At our best, this is what Trump almost said. At our best, we can practice empathy, imagine ourselves in the lives and circumstances of others. So that's what we do when we have empathy. We kind of put ourselves, we kind of think we put ourselves into understanding the lives and circumstances in others. We don't do that really all that much because we really don't take the time out of our lives to understand anybody. We almost do just like in the song. It's not so bad. Shut up in your face. You know, that's kind of where we bring it.
Shut up in your face.
Yeah. But and that's all right. But that's the empathy that we run in today. So there are two types of empathy. There's a cognitive type of empathy, and there's an emotional type of empathy. So let's look at the cognitive first. Alright? What is this cognitive? Cognitive empathy is the capacity to understand what's going on in the minds of other people without necessarily sharing their feelings, So, and I myself personally, I think it's a much better empathy, is a cognitive empathy, because I and everybody else can understand on some logical level of what's going on in the minds of another person. You can talk if you communicate with the other person, and you can understand. Well, I feel your pain, just like Clinton said. That. Yeah, rent's due, electric bills due, everybody's due, you just got laid off, the car broke down, the dog ain't got no food and stuff, and life is just real bad at the time. And that would be a cognitive kind of approach without necessarily feeling the pain. Your lights are on, your rent is paid, your dog is so well fed that it's going to the bathroom all over the house, so but you can understand somewhat that's going on by imagining where you would be in their situation if you communicated with them to find out about their situation. Yeah, and that's a cognitive approach to empathy, because you really don't share their feelings. But if you were having a nice day, you could, in some regards, without being kind of, let me help out and stuff, and pump yourself up like you're trying to help them, say, can I help? And they might say yes, they might say no. They may have something else coming in that's going to take care of that situation. But at the moment, your empathy would be a cognitive empathy, because you'd be understanding, but you really can't share in their feelings. And then we have emotional empathy. And that's to feel empathy in somebody in the sense that it means that you share their experience and suffering. You feel what they are feeling. That's emotional. Sometimes people get into somebody's lifestyle so bad, not only did they feel a personal connection with somebody on the hardships that they're going through right there, they feel a personal connection on everybody, whether they know them or not, whether they in this country, whether they might be a lot of people do. You might be watching TV and all of a sudden you're feeling bad for the lady whose husband got killed on the soap opera. It's like, even though you know in your heart it's not real. No, it's not real. They're actors and it's a screenplay. But then you have an emotional attachment to them. You know, you start to share their experience, even though their experience is a script. And this is an emotional empathy, right? I mean, everybody, a lot of people done that. You pumped up with pride and felt tearful and stuff for the people in a script. I remember when my wife she almost hit me. What was the name of that picture we were watching? I forget what the name of the picture was. Rwanda Hotel. We were at the movies watching Rwanda Hotel, and they ended and they showed the names of all these people, and everybody was, all I heard was, all throughout I had no idea what's going on. I'm sitting there like a fool, like looking about, what's going on, what's happening? Because I didn't have an emotional empathy, you know. It didn't reach me, but it sure reached everybody else in the theater. They were all sniffling and teary-eyed and stuff. And see, now that's an emotional feeling, and everybody's experienced an emotional empathy, and everybody's experienced that at one point in their life. And for you husbands out there, sometimes you got the slow gray cells like I do. Watch out, cause you might get hit. Yes, yeah, that's how those things work. So, and then looking at empathy amplifies pleasure too. You know, thinking about the movies and stuff like that. Cause not only can you all feel that kind of emotional empathy in that regard, you can actually have emotional empathy and pleasure, like in sports. All these Patriots fans do it all the time with that Tom Brady. They named their kids after him. They got a lot of pleasurable empathy towards Tom Brady. You know, they wouldn't name their little Chihuahua after him because, you know, but they would name a Rottweiler or a pit bull after him. But no, they have that feeling like that, and then they even put it towards sex. You know, they got these empathy like what's his name there, James Bond. He drink all night and have sex all night and go out and shoot a few people in the morning. You know, never go to bed, never rest, because he can do that. So you can have all those type of amplified, pleasurable feelings from watching TV or just reading a good book or whatever it is like that. Because we connect with those players and those actors on that emotional, empathetic level. We actually internalize what people are doing, and we do that to regular people too, people that you know. That's why people. I mean, that I ain't gonna say that's why they cry at funerals, but it's one of the reasons they cry at funerals. People they don't even know, people they ain't never talked to in their whole life. They go to the funeral and cry because they're feeling that emotional kind of connection that the people have. Not the cognitive empathy now. That cognitive empathy, remember, that has to deal with understanding and logic. It's in the mind. I can feel your pain, but they ain't connecting with your pain. But we more tend to run on that emotional empathy, and that's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing. We should all run on that emotional empathy, and then we won't have a lot of the troubles we have out there. The people would be receiving everything. But first, you got to talk to the people too. You got to know them a little bit before that happens. In some regards, because like I said, you can also have that amplified, pleasurable empathy that you get through just watching TV and connecting with somebody for who knows what reason. And people really want to share their feelings with you too. And that's the amazing thing of it's kind of I don't want to say a conundrum, but it's kind of just an amazing thing that people want to share their feelings, but nobody's talking to them. You know, nobody finishes the hello, how you doing kind of opening conversation to just talk about how you're feeling. You know, you don't have to go into some little whiny type of thing like that. Oh, I haven't eaten all day. I'm so bad off, and life is so miserable. You know, I mean, you don't go into that. How you feel? Oh, yeah, you know, I'm good. I had a good day yesterday. You know, I had a good day today. Everything was going fine. People love to share those feelings, man. They really do. But they like to do it on a cognitive level because, you know, if you go to some meetings and stuff like that, you have these people, well, let's everybody in the room say something positive that we did today. It's like, we don't have to be that regimented about things. We can do this. Just, you're going into the grocery store and you see somebody you haven't seen in a week or two. Hey, what's up? You know? And then talk to them. You don't have to, and you can share your experience with them, and you can gather in their experiences with you. Because like I said, people love to talk about it. Because it's a basic part of intimacy. People love to be intimate with each other in that regard. Not to tear your clothes off, let's roll around all over the walls of the house and fall out the window intimacy. But I'm talking about, you know, just connecting with people. And that's you know, that's a powerful thing, and it's an enjoyable thing that really you feel so good after you really connected with somebody and just talk to them. You know, it doesn't have to be a long, drawn out conversation. It just can be a nothing conversation. You don't even have to know their name. It's just that personal connection. It's just a connection to feel good, and that's what people like to do. But you know, empathy won't create biases and it won't create little tribal kind of communities, and empathy won't make you cruel. So, you know, if you think you're connected with somebody on an issue that's really a negative type of issue, and that's not going to work. People don't really connect on that. They might talk to you about that, and they might say something about that, and then, you know, they might leave. Oh, you know, all right, brother, and all this stuff. But it dies right there, 2 steps after the conversation is gone. You know, it usually dies. If that's not something that you internalized within your own heart, that negative type of feeling that seems to permeate the Western civilization at the moment, so it's not going to stay with you. It'll pass you right by. But you can talk about it. It won't, you know, if you don't have those biases against certain things, you're not gonna like catch it. It's not a virus. You don't connect it with people just because you were talking to them. You're not going to all of a sudden have those. Have whatever it is that they hold within their self to be true juxtaposed on you. No, it doesn't work that way. Not in the negative. In the positive, though, it just might go that way in the positive. You can actually influence somebody's life by listening to what they said. You know, they say, I didn't know that person cared for me. You know, I didn't know that person felt like that, you know. That's how they leave out of there. They would just say, well, I didn't know Troop knew that about me or thought about me in that regard or something like that. And Troop never said a word. But you were doing all the talking and he was listening, you know. And that's the connection, you know. It's like that's the true form of connecting with somebody to make them feel good. Yeah. And empathy does in fact come to us to respond, and these are really some bad writing. I wonder who wrote that. To respond the way to feel for others' pain. Empathy will allow you to feel for others' pain. Like I said, that's that emotional empathy and stuff. And it's amazing that if you feel for others' pain like that in some regard, that you can actually interact with them and help them out. But not by doing things, but just by listening. I'm going to read to you from my book here for a little minute. Oh, what book? Oh, this is my book.
Aesop's Fable.
That's right. We have Aesop's Fable right here, folks. There it is. Aesop's Fable. Get your copy. Yeah. All right. Oop. And it really doesn't have much to do with empathy, I don't think, but I wanted to read this story anyway. And this is The Traveler and the Plane Tree. Okay? The Travelers and the Plane Tree. Two travelers were walking along a bare and dusty road in the heat of a summer day, coming presently to a plane tree. They joyfully turned aside to shelter from the burning rays of the sun in the deep shade of its spreading branches. Right? As they rested, looking up into the tree, one of them remarked to his companion, "What a useless tree this plane tree is. It bears no fruit and is of no service to man at all." The plane tree interrupted him with indignation. "You ungrateful creature," he cried. "You come and take shelter under me from the scorching sun, and then in the very act of enjoying the cool shade of my foliage, you abuse me and call me good for nothing." So this is, many a service is met with ingratitude. Alright? Now that's my little fable for today, out the book. Aesop's Fable, folks. And you can get a copy at any old store, I guess. But, you know, it's got a message in there that's kind of powerful with empathy, too. You know, it's an indirect message, but everybody, like I said, they got not only got a story, they got a service. They got a purpose. Everybody serves a purpose in life. Some people might have a more grandiose purpose and get tied into thinking that there's something better than somebody else because of their job or because of their assumed status in life. And some people might just be the regular, normal, average, everyday, plain person walking the street who has really nothing to do, you know, with any kind of grandiose type of decision-making process or anything of any of that nature. But everybody has a service and everybody has a purpose. That plain person walking the street might just be the one, your car broke down and it's raining outside like that and you don't know what to do and you got out of your car and you're soaking wet and they gave you an umbrella. You know, they just might be that person. You know, the person who might be the big businessman or anything like that might just walk right by you and give you nothing, just like in the Good Samaritan. So with empathy, with the cognitive empathy and with the emotional empathy, if you see somebody, you know, and you just think well, look at that plain person. That person couldn't do anything for anybody in the world. Don't judge them on their outward appearance. And, you know, shouldn't be judging them at all for any kind of appearance and stuff. And just realize that, you know, they got a purpose and they got a service in life too. And that service and that purpose in life just may one day, you never know, benefit you. Just like your service and your purpose in life just might one day benefit somebody else. It might be as small as you're walking up the street to your house and you see your neighbor and she got a bag in her hand and you take the bag and walk up the street to give her a break because she's been carrying it for such a while. You know, I mean, that's a good thing, and that's powerful, and that gratitude goes a long way. So many a service is met with ingratitude because, like I said, some people wouldn't even be saying, they say thank you, but they wouldn't mean it. You know. So now we're going to talk a little bit about where did these emotions come from? Where does this empathy originate? It originates in your brain, of course. Everybody knows that. In the anterior insular part of your brain and in the circulated cortex of your brain, which are two places located in them little hemispheres of the brain that really don't have too much to do with anything unless you're a neuroscientist. Other than that, That's where you can measure them. But empathy, it is a bias too, and some are based on superficial considerations, like ethnicity and affiliation. Right? Some people feel more empathetic for somebody that they see on TV, a singular person. You know, they might see a singular person. Oh, you ever see the commercial with the little babies with the flies all over them? And then people are asking for the money, and people send
79 cents a day.
Yeah, yeah. It's like people, because they know you're going to feel bad for seeing that one little baby with all them flies all over them. But if they showed you a picture of 2,000 people laying in the hole dead, the first, oh man, those poor people. But you ain't sending your 79 cents to help those people. But you're going to get those flies off that baby, because that ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen, see. And that's a kind of an ethnicity and an affiliation. And I don't know why they got it with ethnicity, but they do. People just like now, we just saw a whole lot of thing that went on with the American Indians out there in Dakota and stuff. You know, with the oil pipeline coming through, and you know, everybody was feeling bad for the American Indians, as they should, because that was an injustice that was being forced upon these people. But if they didn't have the affiliation with the American Indian as somebody that was kind of laid back people, attuned to nature, and you know that they were taken advantage of by the white man, and here we go again, they're going to be taking advantage of the white man again, it wouldn't have got all the press that it needed to make this thing happen. You know, so that's the biases of empathy like that. So those are something you have to watch out for, folks. You know, they're going to happen, but you should watch out for them. And another empathies run deep. You feel greater empathy, like I said, for the one little baby with the flies all over him than you're going to do for the 2,000 people that have been killed. But, you know, well, we just had that now, a year or so ago with the epidemic of Ebola. Everybody felt bad. Oh, the Ebola, it's a scary thing. They weren't scared of Ebola because it was in Africa. But boy, did they rally around when one little doctor got the Ebola and they're going to take him home. This is a terrible thing. Was it a nurse or something? We'll follow her progress on the news, and they had all kinds of things like that. For one person, a whole country, 2-3 countries are infected with this, and they would talk about it, but that empathy didn't reach down and grab them like it did for that one person. So, like I said, you got to be careful of this, you know. You have to watch out for that. So empathy is activated when we think about a specific individual. And what they got a name for this. You got your pen and pencil? Identifiable victim effect. That's what they call that, what happens when you have empathy in that kind of way. It's an identifiable victim effect. And like I said, I just think that we should be more cognitive of that and watch out for that. We're getting down towards the old thing, and I ain't even got to the difference. I'm shooting ahead now, folks, moving right along. We're going to talk about the other side of empathy, not the apathy, where you don't have any feelings or anything that goes around with that. But we're going to talk about compassion for a quick minute, right? Because compassion, what is that? That's caring about others, valuing their fate. That's compassion. You have compassion on somebody, you care about them. You really want to do good for them. You don't want harm to come to those people. It's a compassionate feeling that you have. Empathy's a little different. It's not only the force of motivation that for us to do good. That's what empathy is. It's a motivating force that wants us to do good. Empathy. I have empathy for you. I feel your pain. I'd like to help you. There's something I can do that can help you. really, you may not go into the depth of helping them, but you do feel their pain. You have a visible effect. Not as great as compassion. Because compassion, you're caring about the person. You really want that person to not only feel well, but to succeed. Because it's value-based. Yeah? So you have compassion for when somebody's in school. You know where I saw the most of the compassion I saw? PT tests in the military. We'd have a PT test where you got to do a 2-mile run. And what I noticed was everybody would rally around the person to make sure that nobody failed. They were actually caring about whether somebody failed the 2-mile run. They would have little relays to keep motivating the person, to keep him going, to get by this. We do that all the time, naturally. We do that in school. You find somebody who seems to be struggling, and you take on and you have this compassionate inward type of thing. I can't let this person fail. I really care about this person. And you keep calling this person, because you really don't even know their name. You just got that type of thing. And you value that person's, fate. Do you want that person to succeed? And that's powerful. Empathy really doesn't go that route. Empathy, more or less, you feel their pain. You can empathize with the hardships that they're going through. You can't feel their values. You can't feel that they really want to accomplish something. You can feel their pain, that they might need some assistance with empathy. But with compassion, you can really feel that they might want to accomplish something. So compassion is characterized by feelings of warmth, concern, caring about others, a need to improve the other's well-being. Compassion is a feeling for and not feeling with the others. Okay? That's empathy. When we're feeling for the other and feeling with them, that's an empathetic feeling. That's not a compassionate feeling, right? So once again, compassion is a feeling of warmth, concern and care for others, and a need, here's the part, a need to improve the other's well-being. And empathy just, is the part where we're really feeling, and we're really, we're taking on their hardships, and we really have that feeling that we really want to help you, but it's more or less something related to hardship, not a value type of based thing like that. Okay? In compassion, sometimes it's referred to loving kindness. We have warmth and thought. Empathy, we try and feel with what suffering people are feeling. And that's kind of like the two different bases that goes on with that there. And I think I'm just about out of time, yeah. Empathy tends to wear out. People get worn out real fast with empathy. It's a burnout syndrome. People go and they putting their heart on there because they're only identifying the things that's coming with hardship and stuff, and they really know that they can't do much to get a lot of people out of a situation, so some people don't even try. But they do feel for them. Compassion doesn't come with a lot of burnout. Compassion has a better feeling and even a kind of behavior towards others, because compassion, you have love for the people. And with love for the people, and you care about their well-being. So in that regard, everything goes good. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And I want to actually thank all the World War II veterans who put their lives, and all the veterans after that who put their lives on the line to do those things to make us have this country that we have right now, where you have all the freedoms and rights to hate anybody you want to. Or you can love them, whatever you want to do. I mean, it's up to you. You can do that. We can hate or we can love. I go for the love. It's a whole lot more fun, and it feels a lot better. That's why I always say have that fun, because it feels a lot better to be giving out the love, whether it's coming back or not. Who cares? You know, you're giving it out because it makes you feel good. So, and everybody, when you see somebody, just don't ask them how you doing, hi, how you been, extend that hand, shake it firmly, and then go about your business. Have a small little conversation with them. Let them know that you know that they're there. You know, that's important to you. You know, and if it's all good and important to you, then you do it to everybody else. So everybody gets the benefit from it. So that's what I want to say. So I'm gonna leave you with a little kind of nice little patriotic songs for the 75th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. I didn't really want to say the 75th anniversary of Pearl Harbor because, yeah, it kind of opened up a few years of some really bad situations. And it didn't turn out all that well for everybody in this country, but it did turn out that we in this country still can hate anybody we want to. Or love anybody we want to. It's all on you. It's all on you. All right. Well, I'm Trooper Joe, and I'm here on ArchAngel, Return to Chivalry on Seven Ave Radio. That's 7averadio.com. And I'm here with Will from the 5 o'clock shadow, who you can tune in on 7 Ave Radio and listen to Will. And I'm on Facebook Live, ArchAngel, that's my side, of Return to Chivalry. That's right, and it's my hat. And I want to wish everybody all the love I can, and everybody had that fun. And I'm out.